The regular season finishes with a bang or bust for your team? Check it out here on the Sports Desk. And just what did the Saxons do to buzz the top of the league, Tartars? In softball, the South Spartans host El Segundo to a different kind of game with triple the highlights. You'll want to watch it. On the volleyball court, the Tartars bang it back to their first round opponents. Can they keep it going in the playoffs? And the B-Money Knights were more like B-Money on the court in the last stretch of the season. Scores and more's coming your way. Get fired up because it starts right now. Welcome to the Sports Desk. I'm your host, Bonnie Prickitt. Today we're going to be delving into the baseball CIF expectations, and with me here in studio to help me do that is Sports Desk reporter Ghazal Hassan. Welcome, Ghazal.
Thanks, Bonnie. Great to be here talking baseball with you. Well,
you are a certified baseball junkie.
I hope you mean that in a good way.
I really do. And we have a lot of great baseball here in the Torrance area, and I'd venture to say one of the best teams in Southern California are right here in the city limits, the Torrance Tartars. Man, they are an exciting team to watch.
Yeah, their head coach, Ollie Turner, has done a fantastic job with that program. They've been one of the top teams in the area for about the last decade or so.
That's right. And they have a few weapons to go ahead and get them further into the CIF playoffs. I think pitching is one of them.
Yeah, they have a lot of great elements for a playoff run. Pitching is one of them. They also have pitching, and they have some more pitching.
Well, why don't you go ahead and break down one of their last season games against one of our other own teams, the North Saxons?
Well, each of the last two seasons, the Torrance Tartars have ended the year as CIF runner-up. So Coach Ollie Turner has them ready and primed for a playoff run. But first things first, they need to take care of a home-and-home series to close out the league season against the Saxons of North.
Last year, the Torrance Tartars were denied a Pioneer League title by El Segundo, ending a 3-year run. This year, they swept through their first 8 league games and stand a win from clinching their 4th league crown in 5 years behind senior right-hander Ralph Ramirez. The hurdle for the Tartars to reclaim the league title? The Saxons of North. Top of the second inning, 1 out. Tartars lead 2-0, but North loads the bases. Charles Poe at the plate, and he bloops one to left field, delivering Corey Bishop. Bases remain loaded, and the Saxons shave the lead in half, 2-1 Tartars. But Ramirez pulls a Houdini and is able to escape from the bases-loaded 1-out jam with no further damage. To the bottom of the third we go. Runner on second, 1 out for Torrance. Charles Poe on the mound, and Trent Gilbert at the plate for the Tartars. The pitch, he serves a double to left field. Tyrone Taylor will come around third and score. 3-1, the Tartars on top of the Saxons, as Gilbert in safely at second base. Ralphie Ramirez up next. He dumps one into center field and helps his own cause by chasing Gilbert home. He crosses the plate, and it's now 4-1 Tartars. Top of the 5th, now 4-2 thanks to a poke by Dalton Erb. Saxons threatening. 2 out, 2 on. Matt Jarvis, the big lefty, stands in against Ramirez. He rifles one into center field for a base hit. Tyrone Taylor comes up throwing, but Hayden Weir slides home safe. Andrew Mungaro gets thrown out trying to advance to third, but the Saxons cut the lead to 4-3. Bottom of the 5th, 2 on, 2 out. Inning has already been extended by a Saxon error. Charles Poe delivers, and Ralph Ramirez makes him pay. He puts this one over the center fielder's head. It's in there for a base hit. Tyrone Taylor and Trent Gilbert both trot home. It's 6-3, the Saxons with the lead. A big 2-out base hit for Ralphie Ramirez. We go to the top of the 6th, 6-3, Tartars lead Charles Poe up 2 on, 2 out. Chance to help his cause, but he goes too far. Strike 3, he is retired, and Ramirez done for the day. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. Torrance leading going to the 7th. Ramirez is done, but the Tartars certainly aren't. David Ike's favorite class must be English, because he puts the exclamation point on this one as he homers into the trees in left field. Torrance 7, North 3. David will tell you how he felt about this one.
Well, I kind of figured he might be going with the fastball on that count. Once I saw the pitch, I just, I figured I can do something with it. And I didn't think it was going to go out at first. But yeah, I just tried to get on base. I saw it kind of bounce back in, and I thought I hit the fence, and so I kind of stopped at second base for a while. But yeah, and then I kind of saw the umpire kind of twirling his hand, so I figured it went out.
Taking a lead to the 7th, Torrance head coach Ollie Turner went to his junior righty, Jake Renzi, to close out the game.
Yeah, I knew I could close the deal. I mean, my team got me a big lead with DK hitting the home run in the 6th, so I was pretty confident going in that with my defense that we could close it out.
And Renzi did just that, recording the final 3 outs to clinch both the victory and the Pioneer League title in 2011 for Torrance.
Well, it's definitely a good accomplishment. That was our goal, our first goal, and then our second goal is definitely to try to get deep in the playoffs and hopefully win a championship.
So while the Tartars are once again Pioneer League champs, according to senior captain and pitcher Ralph Ramirez, there's still a long road ahead.
Well, being a 2-year returner, there's a lot of JVs that came up, and you know they have that mentality. So they don't need to work hard and practice and stuff. They're just going to play. That's not how it is. So as one of the captains on the team, I think it's important for me to get on them when they're slacking off and stuff, and just keep everyone together and just fight through the game. And I think we'll be fine if we all do that.
So the Tartars get it done in the Pioneer League and sweep North. Ralphie Ramirez, a two-way threat, pitching 6 innings, driving in 3 runs. Jake Renzi closed things out on the hill, and David Ike went yard for Torrance. The Tartars run the table in the Pioneer League, blanking North in the finale. This dropped North to 5-5 in league play, into a 3rd-place tie with the South Spartans. Bonnie, how'd the Spartans do?
Well, South was swept by El Segundo and also ended up 5-5. With the Eagles securing the conference's 2 seed and playoff berth, the Saxons and Spartans would need to go to a 1-game playoff to go ahead and have a tiebreaker. Let's go ahead and take a look at that score. And it was North coming up with the dramatic 5-4 win as Jack Kennedy and Andrew Mungaro slammed back-to-back jacks in the bottom of the 7th to erase a 4-3 deficit, and they would send the Saxons to the CIF playoffs. You know, Ghazal, it's a real shame that there's so many baseball teams packed into this division and that South didn't get a chance to play in the playoffs. Grady Sain does a really good job over there, and a lot of those seniors, really, really excellent players. And I wouldn't be surprised if a few of them didn't get scholarships. They also have a great bullpen. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the final Pioneer League standings.
Bonnie, it was like the Tartars and everybody else. Torrance way up top, and then El Segundo 3 games back of them, and then North and South in the middle there, ending in that tiebreaker.
I know, such a bummer that, again, South was in the 4th spot. Lawndale ended up on a 2-8 record, though, in Centennial. Poor guys, they couldn't get anything going, though. They did have 1 win. And, Ghazal, let's go ahead and take a look at what we should expect to see from North in the playoffs and what they've got going for them. Go ahead and take it away.
Thanks, Bonnie. North got the 3rd-place CIF wildcard bid with their win over South in the 1-game playoff, and pitching will be the key for the Saxons. They're led by the arm of right-hand senior Hayden Weir and Dalton Erb as well. Erb can also assert himself at the plate. He had a couple of home runs and is quite capable of putting a charge into the baseball. So North will rely on their pitching and their offense, and their catalyst is going to be Brandon Gideon. Gideon gets things going for the Saxons on offense. He plays the game with the right way, with passion, and sets the tone for Mike DiMaria's squad. The key for them, though, will be their offensive efficiency. In late-season series against both South and Torrance, they left a lot of runners on base, and that needs to change for them to make a run in the Division IV playoffs. They'll open against Troy, with the winner playing Kaiser out of the Sunset League. Torrance won the Pioneer League behind the strong pitching of starters Ralph Ramirez and Anthony Condors. The emergence of Jake Renzi back in the bullpen, the Tartars look primed for a playoff run. At the plate for Torrance, it's senior Trent Gilbert and junior Tyrone Taylor who lead the way. Torrance, again, they made the CIF finals each of the last 2 years. They're hungry to get back for a 3rd straight season. They await the winner of Nordhoff and South Pasadena, El Segundo, whom Torrance swept, ended up 2nd place in league.
And Ghazal, good luck to the Torrance Tartars and the North Saxons. Let's go ahead and jump into the Bay League. Very exciting. The West Warriors ended their season strong as they swept Lusinger by combined score of 39-0. Mercy rule, anyone? And Austin Waters was 4 for 5 with a homer in the 2nd game. And oh wait, Ghazal, I'm not finished with Waters. He also brought in 10 runs. Yeesh, it's tough to be losing her, don't you think? Let's go and take a look at the Bay League standings.
You know, West up top, and that was contested going late into the season. Going into the final series, Bonnie, West and Peninsula were tied. West swept their series, Peninsula split. So like Yogi Berra says, ain't over till it's over. West coming out on top in the Delray League.
Well, Gazal, Redondo is 5-5, and Palos Verdes is 4-6. Mira Costa, not much of a powerhouse anymore. They're at 4-6, and like I said, poor losing her. I feel awfully sorry for them, but it's sports. It's competitive. They are 0-10. Why don't you go ahead and take us through what West has going on and what we should expect from them in the playoffs?
Well, the Warriors edged Peninsula for the Bay League title by a game. The team split 2 meetings during the season. The mound core for the Warriors anchored by Daniel Timmerman and Colin Nelson. Offensively for West, Joey Notch, Juan Correa, and Johnny Palmer set the table for West on offense, but their big bat is the man you mentioned, Austin Waters. Waters is the catcher, and he's a big country music fan. Led the Warriors with a .425 batting average and 31 runs batted in, which included a trove of clutch hits. Juan Cueva's Warriors await the winner of Yucaipa and Rancho Cucamonga for their first-round CIF matchup. One more team going for a playoff spot, Bonnie. How'd they do?
Well, moving to the Delray League, the team is the Bishop Montgomery Knights. They ended the year with being swept by Bishop Amat. But Bishop Amat, just so you know, went undefeated in league play and is the second seed in the 44-team Division IV bracket. Let's go and take a look at the final Delray League standings, though. And the top place Delray League team is, like I just said, Bishop Amat, and their second seed, and Torrance is the number 3 seed. But I want to remind everyone that Torrance beat Bishop Amat in the Redondo final game in that particular tournament. And LaSalle is 8-4.
And then Bishop Montgomery, obviously third place. They get the wild card seed, and they'll end up third place behind LaSalle and Bishop Amat. Their first round game will take them to Baldwin Park in the first round of that Division IV bracket.
Because that's how Bishop Monty ended up in the Delray League. What do you expect for them in the playoffs?
You know, they are the third place team. They're a wild card entry into the playoffs, and really they will take on Baldwin and the winner of that playing Crescenta Valley. Senior right-hander Johnny McLaughlin, he's the staff ace for B. Monty, and he's backed up by juniors right-hander Alex DeGurgis and juniors Andy Bershinger and Jeff Villafina pace the night bats. Defense, though, will be the key for Bishop Montgomery, Bonnie. They can't allow any more unearned runs. On the year, they allowed 72 unearned runs on the season, and they need to tighten up that defense if they want to make any kind of a run into the CIF playoffs. But, you know, that's why they play the games, Bonnie.
It's very true. And so let's go ahead and break it down. We have Torrance, who is definitely in the playoffs, is the fourth seed.
They should be a favorite to get to at least to the quarterfinals at this point. But after that, anything can happen.
Hey, they are going to the finals. I'm all about them. And North is playing in the wild card game, right? Mm-hmm. And then El Segundo, obviously the second place team, already has a spot in the playoffs. And then that leaves us Bishop Montgomery. They are a wild card?
Bishop Montgomery is a wild card entry, and then West is a seeded team. They're awaiting the winner of one of the first round games.
And they will win. Do you think West has a good chance of getting pretty deep in the playoffs?
I like West because of their pitching, their depth, and their clutch hitting. They just somehow come up with a lot of 2-out base hits. That's kind of what Juan Cueva preaches. He's the head coach at West, and it seems to have carried them to the top of the Bay League.
Hey, Juan Cueva's coached a lot of great players. And actually, I remember the preseason. We did a little bit of a profile on each team. And Juan didn't seem to have too many expectations, but I would say that after probably the middle of their tournament play, they got all cylinders going, and some of those leaders that weren't there in the beginning ended up showing up, and Austin Waters is one of them.
Yeah, they had a lot of guys emerge. Juan Correa also, he was moved up in the lineup late in the season, and he's really paid dividends for Coach Cueva and the West Warriors.
So that is it for the baseball breakdown. Ghazal Hassan, thanks so much for coming in. I appreciate it.
Hey, pleasure to be here. Thank you, Bonnie.
That's right. It's nice to see you in the studio. But coming up after the break, we will go to the softball field to catch a glimpse of the last game. And there's a thing or two to learn from the ladies Spartan softball team in their last game of the year.
With video games, I'm always choosing between what my kids want and what I think is best for them. How about this one? Which is why I love these new rating summaries. They let me know exactly what's in the game. Players shoot lasers from an arm cannon. Robot enemies explode and limbs fly off.
Maybe that other one's better.
Yeah. Get your free game rating summary today, and with it, the world's most powerful weapon, knowledge.
Welcome back. This softball season, the race to the top is going to the last inning played. And going into the last game, the second spot is still up for grabs. The South Spartans are a determined bunch of ladies that are not going down without that senior fight. In the game against El Segundo, they let loose in more than one way. Karen Bright, why don't you show us how?
It was a senior celebration as South hosted El Segundo in the last regular season game of the year. The Spartans on a 3-game win streak, hoping to up it to 4 in honor of their 4 graduating seniors. The action starts in the first. Bases loaded. El Segundo's Taylor Gonzalez with an RBI single for the first score of the game. Miranda Pedersen right behind her does the same, and in comes Darcy Brown. The Eagles are up 2-0. Spartans at bat. First baseman Cindy Cherness pops one up, and in comes Paige Kissling to put South on the board. Top second, checkmate El Segundo. Eagle Gabby Valerio crushes a double, sending captain Aaron Berner home for the 3-1 lead. Bottom of the inning, South's Jasmine Adame makes a run for it. It's questionable, and it's called a no score. Adame's out to end the inning. Eagles still up 3-1 after the third, and South looking flat as El Segundo's lead began to take its toll on their spirit. That's when something changed for the green and white. Senior Shannon Hokama explains what happened as South stepped up to the plate.
We were trailing. We were a little down in the dugout and just kept telling everybody, like, hey, get up. We need to talk it up, get in the game, check in. Once we did that, we started getting more runs in.
Fourth inning, Spartan senior captain Ashley Phelps starts it off. It's an overthrow, and she pushes her single to second. Cristiana Duarte follows that. She brings her in, cutting the Eagles' lead to 3-2. Next up, infielder Tori Allegria, and this is where the game gets good. Allegria triples, batting in 2 runs. She's followed by Alex Kossoff's triple for 1. And Paige Kissling smashes South's 3rd straight RBI triple. It's 6-3 South, and the Spartans turn the tables, taking their first lead of the day. With just 1 out, South isn't finished yet. Paige Kissling slides in for 1, and fire under pressure, bases loaded, South cracks one right over third and breaks the game open with a 9-3 lead. Top 5 South's Shannon Hokama bats in 2, racking up a 10-point lead, and the mercy rules in force. South wins it 13-3. After the game, South recognized seniors from both teams and took a moment to celebrate the win and demonstrate some appreciation for their graduating teammates. The South Spartans send their seniors off with a smile with a 12-3 win in their last home game of the regular season. The win clinches 2nd place in the Pioneer League and sends the Spartans into the playoffs on a 4-game win streak. Reporting for the Sports Desk, I'm Karen Bright.
So just to recap, South crushed the girls of Gundo 13-3, not 12-3, and Tori Allegria scored 2 runs and brought home 2. Paige Kissling added 3 runs of her own. Shannon Hokama was hot as well. Let's go ahead and see the rest of the league games. South shut out Centennial by 10 runs in the game before El Segundo. And North did a number on El Segundo. 16-1 was the final score. Molly Winders tossed a 1-hit shutout while striking out 4 in a big final game win over Torrance. Torrance did, however, win a big game against Lawndale, 16-0. And taking a look at the final Pioneer League standings, congrats to the North Saxon softball team for gaining the Pioneer League crown, and by doing it by going undefeated. South and Torrance both ganged up on the rest of the league to get the 2nd and 3rd place spots. They'll be facing some tough teams in the playoffs for sure. El Segundo lost its luster this season and ended with a 4-6 Pioneer League record in the Bay League. The ladies things zip in the standings the last week and really put it to Palos Verdes 9-1. Kemi Takahashi and Ashley Miller lit it up with homers in the 21-5 win in the final game against Lusinger. The Warriors might have gotten 5th in the league with that 4-6 record, but boy did they go out with a bang. The Lady Knights didn't fare well, especially in the last 2 games. They fell to St. Joseph 7-4. Bishop beat B-Money 10-0. And the Knights are sending at least 3 players on scholarship. So something good is going on over there. So it looks like North and South are definites for the first round softball game, and we'll let you know how they did. But coming up next, Boys volleyball, we've got some playoff highlights and some scores, and there's still one team standing. Is it yours?
Never look a howler monkey in the eye.
Fried ants are delicious.
We finished a clinic in a rainstorm.
Really?
My students actually ended up teaching me. In la keg, a la king. Think managing a sales team is tough. Try working with 5 different villages. After 2 months, I was ready to quit, but after 2 years, I didn't want to leave. I didn't know I had it in me.
Turn 2 years of service into a lifetime of experience. To all the Peace Corps volunteers, past, present, and future, thank you for your service to your country and the world.
The Tartars volleyball team definitely has some height on its side, with 5 players over 6 feet, but they also have some talent in the middle blocker, the outside, and the defense. The sports desk went out to find the best highlights in the first round of the CIF playoff game, and sports desk reporter Nick Ekbatani punches this one in.
Pasadena came out with an early lead, up 5-2, but leading the charge for the Tartars is Andrew Cole with a nice kill, getting them back on track. It's still early in the first game, and Torrance is down 5-6, trying to get back in the swing of things. Brock Bull with a nice kill ties the game, 6-6. Torrance is back on top, up 10-9, and Andrew Cole will strike again with a nice spike that'll extend their lead, 11-9. Later in the first game, Torrance starting to pull away, playing some dominant volleyball behind their team leader, Brock Bull, who throws it down for the Tartars. Torrance up 24-20. South Pasadena is trying to keep it alive, but a good heads-up play here by the Tartars is going to end the first game and give Torrance the lead, 1-0. Torrance would come out in game 2 ready to go to work. And once again, we got Brock Bull throwing down a big block for the Tartars, getting them fired up. And Torrance would keep the fire alive with another big block, this time by Frankie Olmos. The pressure is on, and South Pasadena is rallying to get back on the board, but Torrance's Chris Dixon is cold as ice, putting a little touch on the ball to score for the Tartars. Solid execution by South Pasadena, but it ain't no thing for the Tartars, as we got Chris Dixon killing it once again. Late in the second game, Torrance is playing with a little trickery, keeping South Pasadena guessing who's gonna hit it. They can't figure it out. South Pasadena rattled. Torrance up 24-17, and number 11, Philip Condi, is going to close it out with a nice hit. Torrance now up 2-0. Torrance started game 3 down 4-0, but once again, we got Andrew Cole killing it. Here's more from Cole and his big performance.
It was all right. I made a couple of stupid mistakes, so I'm going to try and fix that next game.
Torrance down 10-11, and Dixon's going to get set nicely for the kill, but it's blocked. And the ball's still alive now, and Torrance is still playing it. And playing it to the end is Frankie Olmos, who comes up with a big point to tie it up. Torrance is up 23-21, trying to close this last game out. And who's going to do it for him? You guessed it, Big Brock Bull. Torrance up 24-21. Torrance just one serve away from victory, and oops. Let's try that again. Torrance just 1 point away from victory, and they're going to get it right this time. With a final kill, Torrance sweeps South Pasadena 3-0 en route to their first playoff win in 2011, and it's on to the next one. Finishing up here at Torrance High, where the Tartars played a dominant brand of volleyball, sweeping South Pasadena 3-0. After a dismal 2010 season, the seniors on this team earned their first playoff win, and they'll advance to the second round to be played on Thursday. I'm Nick Ekbatani, reporting for the Sports Desk.
And thanks to Nick for the story. The Tartars wouldn't cruise right past South Pasadena, but capped it just the right way with a 3-game sweep. So I guess they did cruise, and winning the first game 25-20, the second game 25-17, and the third and final game at 25-22. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second round game as well. They kept focus on this game, going to a 3-2 game win for the match. Andrew Cole came up big with 17 kills and 9 digs. Brock Bull had 8 kills and 5 blocks. And Kenneth Villanueva supported the team well with 12 digs and 2 aces. They would go on to lose to an exceptional Valley Christian team in that last game, who had swept their previous opponents 3 games to none before doing it again to Torrance. Let's go ahead and take a look at another team. The Knights started out the season with a bang, and then they quieted down a little bit, getting some losses, but they go ahead and finish it in the grand tradition of making the playoffs. Getting to this CIF second round wasn't easy, but the Knights showed they still have what it takes as they host the St. Margaret Tartans. The Knights go into this third round of the playoffs with momentum after their first round win over the first seed Ganesha High out of the Hacienda League. With scores from that game being 25-14, 25-23, and 25-18, if they can keep it together, there shouldn't be a problem against St. Margaret's. In the first game, though, the Knights were losing the lead and they couldn't get it back, even behind the team leadership of captain senior Danny Gaber. The Knights' defense fell a little bit short. The Knights would lose game one, 25-23. Let's talk to Danny Gaber about what was going on.
Yeah, they're a really good team, and they came out really strong. And I think we were a little flat, but we were able to get it back.
Outside hitter Danny Gaber is one of 3 seniors on the Knights. So along with Jason Malik and Tim Parr, the Knights seniors led their team to a victory in Game 2. 25-18 was a score on that one. With a victory shall be ours mantra, Cameron Moeller does his job in setting up. That's right, Danny Gaber again on the kill. Danny was hot as usual with 11 kills on the match. Freshman Travis Pyrick serving for the Knights. They would keep their high-speed game going with great plays like that one by senior Jason Malik. He had a total of 4 blocks and 10 kills for the entire match. The Knights would again gain another win in Game 3 over the St. Margaret Tartans. But senior Tim Parr says, "I want this point. Thanks." Nice play, Tim. Sophomore Cameron Moeller did more than just serve a few good ones. He had 25 assists and 5 kills for the Bishop Montgomery Knights. And that's Legaspi there serving, team leader in libero. The Knights would go on to win this game 25-22, but they couldn't do it without Jason Malik. Congratulations, what a great way to end that game. And you would go ahead and win the match 3-1. The next one, though, they would try and take that momentum from the last win into the third round game against Santa Monica. Santa Monica would prove to be too much, winning all but the second game to take the match 3-1. And finally, let's go ahead and take a look at the only team left standing. They easily beat round 1 opponent. The South Spartans beat Bellflower 3-0. And Andy Gage, what a player. He had 12 kills, and Kenichi Hackman, 8 in the second round sweep of Downey. Their opponent didn't get past 20 points, and Temple City, who was in a little rough around the edges the last time the Spartans played them, didn't come out swinging. South won Game 1, 25-17, Game 2, 25-18, and the final score of the Game 3 was 25-15. How about those South Spartans? I'm from Dallas, so I can say, how about them South Spartans? Good luck to you. We will go ahead and let you know how they did in the playoffs. But now's a chance for you to let us know something we might not know. So go ahead and take a look at the information on your screen. Give us a call at 310-618-5762. You can always email us at thesportsdesk@torranceca.gov. You can view our shows online at torranceca.gov. And all of those shows from 2010 and 2011 are now on YouTube. So go ahead and take a look at that. And I gotta say, good luck and congratulations to all the teams that have gotten to the playoffs. And for all those teams who didn't, well, the seniors, it was a great run, wasn't it? And the juniors and sophomores, good luck, and good luck next year too. Until next time, Torrance, play hard.